Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadrama. Okay, so let's start with the prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So reading from Bhagavad Gita chapter 12. The verse is 9. Shloka 9. Please look at the screen. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknosi mayi sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichhaptum dhananjaya. So translation by Sri Prabhupada. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So, devotees, here, this chapter is very important. First of all, and in this verse, Krishna is talking about two different processes. Or we can say there are two different stages. So one is a liberated stage where we attain the liberated stage, and the other one is where a living entity is bound. So he's bound, he's not able to do anything, and time bound, he is again and again falling into that particular condition where he's not able to rise up. So the first stage, what Krishna explains here is the one who is liberated. So in Bhakti Yoga, as indicated in the verse itself, the purport also. So one is the liberated stage where the person is completely attached. So he is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Sri Krishna. Just a second, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So one living entity is completely attached, where his activities are completely engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord. That means whatever he does, he desires, he moves here and there, he thinks, his thought process, everything will be in relation with Krishna. So that is a liberated stage. So that is complete attachment. So that is one thing. Now the other one is the person who has the desire, who wants to get attached to Krishna, but he is not able to do so. So as per the descriptions by the scriptures and also by acharyas, there are two different kinds of living entities. One is Nitya Baddha and another one is Nitya Siddha. That is someone who is eternally liberated, and the other category is who is eternally conditioned. So we are all conditioned. So condition means I am living on a particular condition. I have obtained this body based on certain condition. Why I am born as a human, or somebody is born as an animal or a tree or aquatic. So there is a condition because of the actions which has been performed. So to get liberated from the cycle of birth and rebirth, I have to get liberated. So this particular stage where we get into this condition in our life, so that is possible. So according to this shloka, what he is telling is, if you're not able to get that particular attachment, you cannot fix your mind completely on me, Arjuna, because there is deviation, there is distraction. So the distraction develops further and further, and we get attached to this material world. So there are material things, material objects. So I want to get detached from that. So what is the other thing? So Krishna is telling, then follow the principles, regulative principle. That means you have to put rules and regulations. We have seen that if the traffic is not being followed by people, then the police has to put some condition there. They have to put some rules and regulations. They have to manpower. Somebody has to stand there. Somebody has to monitor that. He has to be fined. Catch the people who are not wearing helmet. Somebody is make sure that they do not cross the red line. So there are rules and regulations. So similarly, in Bhakti Yoga also, somebody doesn't develop that asakti. Asakti, there are 9 stages like Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. So there is something called as asakti in that. So asakti is almost the last stage where you have the complete attachment towards Krishna. So we have to come to that stage. So it's stage by stage. Like we tell children that you cannot go to 10th standard directly. So you have to finish your first standard, second standard. You have to develop your skills. You have to develop your knowledge. So you have to do so many things practically. Then you come to a stage where you understand how a 10th standard books work, how you have to solve the problems, how you have to appear the exams. So similarly, there are stages here where one of the stage almost at the end is asakti. That means complete attachment towards Krishna. So that has to be done. So regulative principles have to be brought in. Now, almost 99.99% in this world, in this age, everyone are fallen because everyone is born out of certain condition and they are bound to be attached to this world. So to get liberated, we have to put through these rules and regulations which have been mentioned in the scriptures. So the scriptures explain about do's and don'ts for a devotee. So somebody takes up or comes to the devotional line. So there are do's and don'ts. What has to be done? You should not do this. If you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this will happen. That has to be thought. So this is a practical, the practical way of living. So that is why a sadhaka or a practitioner has to do the sadhana to attain bhakti and to go to Bhagavanta or Bhagavan. So that is possible in this bhakti yoga process by the rules and regulations. Now, what are those? Very simple. We have to approach a spiritual master. The master explains, gives us what to do and what not to do. So that's why we follow the parampara system. Now, if you go to any university, we see that the alumni, or if you see the previous generations who have been come out of prestigious universities, they understand how those universities are working, and still they are shining today, generating thousands and lakhs of well-skilled people. So they are able to perform better in the society, become big leaders in the society. So similarly, in devotional service, when we fall under a parampara, we follow a parampara. Now we are following the parampara of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya, where we have a philosophy, we have our devotional line, there is a lineage. we follow a parampara where there are so many acharyas given us instructions what has to be done, what not to be done, what books have to be read, what philosophy we have to follow day in day out. This is day in day out practical. It's not something which I will hear for 15 minutes or I will do only for 1 hour. It's a completely day full packed activity which we have to follow. Just like how we are fully packed in our material bound line, I have to cook, I have to go to office, I have to earn money, I have to take care of my parents, children. So how you're duty bound. So for a sadhaka or a devotee, this is also his primary duty, that he has to follow the sadhana. So for example, rising early in the morning, following the Mangalarti procedure, worshipping the deity, chanting the glories of Supreme Lord, chanting his holy names on beads. Okay, then there are restrictions where you have to eat something, not eat something. Okay, we follow the prasadam. Okay, we have to eat prasadam, not eat which is not offered to Lord Krishna. So there are procedures like this. There is something like we have to fast. We have to do fasting on particular days. It's not for the body. Of course, it has the benefits on the body as well, but it's for the benefit of the soul. Because to develop more and more love, attachment towards the Supreme Lord. So this is why the sadhana is very, very important in a sadhaka's life. Without this, you cannot develop further. So a sadhana or a sadhaka who follows this, he will see the results himself. He is one who is sincere or who is convinced. So sincerity is required. So lakshana. Lakshana means what are the signs? So you need to be sincere. So if you're sincere in any work, even in your day-to-day job, whatever course you're following, you see that people will appreciate if you're truthful and if you're sincere. So we have to develop that faith. So first stage we have to cross faith, Shraddha. So if we do not have faith in a system, we cannot develop further. We cannot go further. So first thing is develop that faith. Yes, what I am doing, I have done the study. I am looking into all these things. We are seeing so many other devotees who are developing. We are seeing the results. They are getting more and more attached to the Lord, their activities, what they do, and what they are recommending others, and how others are following, how they have become more and more increased in their love for Krishna. And we are hearing the pastimes. And this is an activity which when we do it, we also develop that faith. So always please remember, we have to be in the association of the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Without this, we cannot develop that taste. We cannot develop that faith in further progressing in our life. So, because Krishna is present in everybody's heart. It's not that he's present only in someone who becomes devotee, because by nature, when a soul gets transformed into certain body, the super soul also follows, or he will be with him, because he has to guide him. There's no other guiding source. Without the Paramatma, the Atma cannot be in a particular body. All the species, what we see across the universe here, if you travel anywhere across the globe, you need to understand that without the consciousness of a soul and also the super soul, the living entity cannot survive. So he is there always, but we have to awaken. We have to awaken that, or we have to be aware of that particular entity who is there in my heart. Why I'm telling heart region is we have thoughts, see, the brain is working. I have a brain. There's a certain process which is working, the thought process is working, but the mind also, which is there in the heart region. People say the mind is here. Okay, when we always say, do you have a conscious mind, we no, we indicate our brain. But according to the Shastras, the scriptures say that the mind is in the heart region. So in the heart region, who all is there? The heart is pumping physically, but certainly what is there? There is the mind, okay, and there is also the soul and the super soul which is sitting, who are seated. Now the mind is working on a particular platform, the thought process. So our thought process should always be engaged in the service of Krishna. That means service means we are serving every day. We are serving our children, we are serving our wife, we are serving our husband, we are servicing our parents, we are servicing our boss in the office or our subordinates. We are serving everybody. The job of or the nature, the duty of a particular soul is always to serve the society. That is how you have to see. Okay. So someone who is a manager or a boss, he thinks I am actually the leader, I am the the master here. But the master also is serving. You see, now we have prime minister, we have president. But what are they doing? They are duty bound. They have to serve the praja, the citizens of this country. So they have to work day in, day out without sleep. They are duty bound. So in this world, you see everyone is serving someone. Now, this is the actual nature of the soul. But we are forgetting that we have to serve the Supreme Lord. That is not awakened. The actual nature of the soul is to serve the super soul. But instead, because we are so much engrossed in our senses, we have to serve our senses. So, relation to those senses, we are duty bound to serve. So, my senses are expanded into my family, my society, my nation. So, I'm duty bound to serve these things. But the actual nature, when someone is come out of the body, I'm an Indian. Now, if I come out of the body, I have to serve. I say I'm not getting a body. Okay, I'm liberated. So whom you have to serve? You have to serve the Supreme Lord. So the same thing applies here. When I am in the body, I can develop that attachment and serve the Supreme Lord and engage others also to serve. So that is actually Krishna consciousness. Someone who is living, who is following the rules and regulations, who is serving the Supreme Lord, and he is engaging others also in serving the Lord, is actually liberated. Because his thought process, you see, the mind is always thinking of something. Every second, every minute, it is thinking of something. Now we see so many things around us. I see someone is having a good phone, I get the desire. Someone is having a nice car, I get that thought comes. Okay, I have a small car. What if I had this car? He's enjoying so much. I have a small Vivo phone. It's not so good. Someone has an iPhone. Okay, what if I had that? It's so nice. It's so costly. So like this, I'm going on contemplating. I'm thinking this is nice, that is nice. If I have this, I can enjoy. If I have that, I'll be happy. So I am always thinking like this. I'm always thinking that if I have this, I'll be happy. If I have that, I'll be happy. So my thought process is always liking this. So this is called desire. The thoughts, what you get, that is desire. Now something which we objectify and we contemplate and we get stronger into that thought, we become attached. So where is my attachment? My attachment is towards this material world, material things. I'm not thinking of spirituality. I'm not thinking about spiritual world or spiritual objects or the line which I can follow. Because my nature, the soul nature, is not to be in this world, but still I am here. This is not my nature. We are marginal energy of the Supreme Lord. We are supposed to be liberated, but we have bound here certain condition. I have to live this way only. I want to become rich, I am not becoming rich. I want this, but I am not getting this. Why? Because you have done something in the past. You're bound to get something in this life. You'll not get more than what is given to you. What is coming on your way, you'll not get more than that. Somebody says he worked hard, he got it. He worked hard because he got that particular intelligence, he got that particular body, he got particular country or family. He got that particular things because his intelligence was given like that, his condition was given like that. We have seen so many examples. Somebody was very poor, but he became a millionaire. Somebody was a millionaire, but he became a poor. Why? Because that condition is he was doing something in his previous life. He had some sukruti, because or he is a dushkruti. That means he is pious or impious. So based on his activities, he got that particular life. He got that particular results. People think that he worked hard, he is getting. No, it doesn't work that way. You try how much ever hard or smarter way, you will get what is bound to be. So this is the nature of this world. This is how we'll get material bodies, and we will be bound to be getting bodies. I may be human today, tomorrow I may be animal, but how to get liberated? That is the real question. Now I'm able to understand. So many people have logged in today through Zoom. The animals are not able to have a Zoom meeting. Why? Because they don't have that intelligence. In human body, you're able to have this intelligence, log into Zoom, understand what is Bhagavad Gita, take up the classes. What if I lose this? Which life will I come back and get a chance to hear this? What if I come after many lives and there is no Zoom, there is no sadhana, there is no sadhakas, there are no devotees? What I will be? I'll be behaving like animal, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So this is the conditioned life. I will never get liberated. So devotees, we have to take the advantage of what the facilities it has been given. We are following so many rules and regulations. Read Bhagavad Gita, understand, hear classes, follow, try to understand, and that is how we'll develop. It is a step-by-step process. If you try to do these things, you'll definitely get the benefits of what it has been recommended, which has been mentioned in the Shastras. So this is the shloka explanation. I hope it was very helpful. I end my class here. It's 7:08. Anybody has any questions or any doubts, you can unmute yourself.